Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is Blue Eye and today we're gonna go and look at the second round I played in the VGC Dutch Open that I played in the previous weekend. So this is the second round of what I played. If you've seen the last video, then you know that what I did in the first round. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch that right now, as I'm gonna spoil the ending in like a few seconds. So before I spoil that result and my score during this tournament, you might probably notice that the quality of this video has gone down, especially the screen cap of the game. And that is because it's not a screen cap. I actually had to record this with my phone. Now, you're probably wondering why I had to record this with my phone. And that's because today, on Wednesday the 11th, so that's yesterday for you, as I'm uploading this on a Thursday, Pokemon came out with a patch fixing some bugs like Z parting shot and Z memento, which is good. However, it renders my battle videos completely useless, which means I cannot upload them and record them with my 3DS capture card. So I had to record them on my phone so that you could still look at these battles and learn a lot from them, because you know, during recording I was already watching the battles and already learned a lot. So right now I'm a 1-0 in the tournament, and this is the second series, so let's just hop straight in after with this small intro out of the way. I'm using the same team, of course, because it's a tournament, but my lead is slightly different, as I have Cortana in the back with Tapu Fini instead of Crocodile and Porygon too. I know those are my other two, I mean instead of Araquanid and Marowak. My opponent and had a strange team preview because the other two were Grimer and Oranguru, and I already heard from during checkups that this person would only have 4 Pokemon, so he'll bring the 4 Pokemon every time, but the battle is going to be interesting. Anyway, so let's go. Right, as we hop into the battle, we see the quality. It's so bad, but this first one will shake a little bit because I wanted to look at quality, but the battles after these I'll have the phone secured and it won't move as much. I might even throw a stabilizer on it. So he leads Gyarados Circuitry, which is quite scary for me actually. And I lead my standard Crocodile Porygon. So Intimidate's kept passed out. I can see that his Gyarados is faster than mine, but I think he might read my Protect on turn 1, which is something, usually the first turn of a battle you should not do that, since they will most likely go for the obvious play, which was C-move into my Crocodile. And as a result I lose Crocodile at the first turn. Well, and if you know, like, you battle 4v4, it's not really what you want. No, not at all. So I lose my Crook, and Circuitry shows he has Energy Ball. So I'm thinking most Circuitries are scarfed, but I do get the free T-Bolt on the Gyarados, and that actually manages to get a 1-8 KO. I did not see if my Porygon had the special attack boost, but I'm gonna assume he did. So it brings in Marowak, I bring in Cortana, so I kind of expect a discharge coming or a switch from Circuitry. So I just immediately switch to Tapu Fini to block the damage that Marowak might do, while I know he can't hit me with a lightning attacks because of Lightning Rod. So the Circuitry protects, and I think the Marowak just goes for Flare Blitz while I get an Ice Beam onto that protect. Yes. So this turn is going alright for me, but right now the issue is that he might have discharge on Circuitry, and that's something. And of course the obvious Gastrodon switch in. So he switches out Circuitry into Gastro, and I really hope I either Dazzling Gleam or Muddy Water here. I did Muddy Water. So it hits the Storm Drain, but I can still hit the Marowak, but it missed. Muddy Waters, it's not for me, guys. I've missed too much of the Muddy Waters recently. So the Shadow Bone will KO the Fini, as the Flare Blitz already did so much damage. So Tapu Fini dies again because of a miss. So right now I have to bring in Kartana, and this is kind of tough because Marowak is not at a range where Night Slash and an Ice Beam KO. Actually, he barely is not. That was quite unfortunate. I'm not sure if it came down to damage rolls on the first Ice Beam, but I'm gonna say it did. So he gets a Flare Blitz off at my Kartana, and well, it kind of went all downhill from the Crocodile death at turn 1. As right now my only thing I have left is this Porygon, and Gastrodon and Circuitry are still alive. So, you know, I'm not giving up yet, because I want to see if I'm able to do any damage, but the Circuitry uses T-Bolt, so shows me he doesn't most likely have a discharge, but the crit basically secures the deal here. And thus I think next turn I just forfeit and we go to game 2. So in the first turn I made a bad call. That was basically going for the I hope he predicts my Protect and doesn't C-move, but he C-moved anyway. So that was most likely just my fault. I should have protected or switched to Tapu Fini immediately. And well, so I lose the first game, but that's alright. We still have a best of 3. I can come back. I know his 4 months. It's mostly that the Gyarados is the biggest issue for me if I don't bring P2. And in the second game I chose not to bring P2, just to get a little bit better team comp. So I switched it out for Marowak. So we'll see how it goes. As the battle starts, you can see my reflection. And the quality is already better because I'm not moving the phone. It's standing still and hold in position. So this is... Oh, I made the table shake. So this is the quality you'll see for the next 4 series, and then it should be fixed again. Thanks, Nintendo. So he has the same leads, but this time my lead is different as I lead Marowak Fini. And that's really good since Marowak can protect and then Gyarados can't do anything. And Circuitry can't use T-Bolt because of Lightning Rod. So he protects, I protect, and I go for Dazzling Gleam with the Fini here. While he does Z-move. So he goes for the Water Z-move. It shouldn't KO my Marowak, and I'm pretty sure it didn't because I used Protect. But it shows you why Protect is so good, especially on the slow months. And something I noticed during recording the other videos was that Marowak, that its low speed can be your downfall a lot of times. So if you're not using Trick Room, it's most likely not worth it to get Marowak along, unless you're like really weak to Tapu Koko. But yeah, the Water Z move did half damage to my Marowak, so I switch it out to Kartana, who can take anything. And I expect him not to use a T-Bolt on Circuitry, so I can get a lot of damage off with Waterfall with my Dazzling Gleam. But he just makes a really smart play, which is that I either switch out with Marowak, and then he can T-Bolt, or I stay in with Marowak and it dies to a Gyarados Waterfall. So he could just T-Bolt anyway, and he kills my Tapu Fini as a result. However, I can bring in Crocodile and my Kartana outspeeds his Gyarados, and then I can Leaf Blade and kill both. So he switches Gyarados to Marowak to take the Leaf Blade, which is completely fine. Because the Gyarados was so threatening, I just wasn't gonna take a risk, and I was gonna Ground C move the Circuitry, just to be sure, because I know it has Protect, but I also want to get rid of that because it has the Beast boost. So I just Tectonic Rage and take down Circuitry here. So it's a 2v2 that's left. And right now I'm feeling good about my position because this Gyarados is really low. And this Marowak is threatened very hard by my Crocodile. Wait, is it a 2v2? No, I still have Marowak left actually. So it's a 3v2. And I can kill the Gyarados with Kartana, and then I have 2v1 that both have super effective hits against Marowak. I'm actually gonna switch Kartana just to preserve it. I couldn't have, but I was kind of expecting him to Protect on his Gyarados. but the Marowak ended up protecting. So that was kind of a waste of a turn there. I could have just killed the Gyarados. So now he goes for the waterfall and he actually kills the Crocodile. So we know that a +0 waterfall can actually kill Crocodile. And this is important, as it will play a later role in the later game. Because, as you can see, he only has the Gyarados left. So my Cortana can clean up here and I win game 2. On a okay manner. And I actually forgot him having Gastro, but Cortana doesn't care about Gastro. And Gastro actually protects while I was not targeting it. That was kind of a mistake. He could have protected the Gyarados, because that's the more obvious target. But maybe he tried to, you know, predict that I would predict him, and I end up not doing anything and just getting the KO on Gyarados. So right now it's, yeah, I Leaf Blade to Gastro and it dies. Nothing more to add here. Move on. So I win game 2. And game 3, I know he's gonna bring the same thing, but I just have to find a way to deal with this Gyarados. So I end up not switching up my Pokemon, because I felt like with these 4 I can handle Gyarados the best. I just have to keep Tapu Fini alive as long as possible. You know, keep it switching in and trying to resist and then do damage, but especially if he does Gyarados Marowak, I don't have a lot against Gyarados, which is annoying. So our leads our Mons don't switch. Let's just jump into game number 3 here against Anna. It was actually a Chinese dude, but he got a DS from someone else, so he's Anna in game. So his lead is, instead of the Circuitries, is now indeed the Marowak and the Gyarados. And I lead Tapu Fini and Crocodile. So I was contemplating going for a Dazzling Gleam here, because the switch to Gastrodon was mega obvious. But I ended up being like, well, he doesn't predict as much, so I'm just gonna go for the safe move. But he did end up switching to Gastrodon on this turn. And I protected Crocodile because of the waterfall pressure. But what I actually could have done is, you know, predict the Gastro and then just attack. Because now Gastro took both water moves, including the waterfall. And it was like, oh right, waterfall absorbs it, so we have a +2 Gastro now. And I'm not in a great spot, but I can freely switch Cortana in, which is great. I think I end up just muddy watering again, because I didn't have a switch in, because my other Pokemon is Marowak, so it's like, I'd rather give the Gastro +1 than switch in my Marowak here and take a waterfall. But I forgot about waterfall again, so I could have switched in Marowak here because of Storm Drain. So the Gastro scalds with +4, and Cortana luckily takes a +4 Scald. And on this turn I was like, which of the 2 Pokemon will protect, Gyarados or Gastro? And I chose Gastro, so I attacked Gyarados, but he ended up protecting Gyarados and attacking with Gastro. So that 50-50 ended up working out in his favor, and he actually can take out my Cortana, which is a really big issue since I can't deal with the Gastrodon anymore. Well, I could, but not if the Gyarados is next to it. So bringing Crocodile, intimidate the Gyarados, bring it to -1. Or -2. No, bring it to -2. Did I? No, it's -1. So I switched to Marowak, realizing he can't waterfall me. And I protect the Crocodile for a Scald from Gastrodon. So he chooses to Dragon Dance. And from here I'd like, well, the Gastrodon can sweep me and he can just set up Dragon Dances. So I'm gonna go for a flinch, but he ends up switching out the +5 Gastrodon so he can use a water move. So, and he goes for the waterfall, my Crocodile. So last game we saw that killed, but now I live. So that kill last game was a damage roll. And here he was basically punching himself, think why he didn't Z-move my crocodile. And on my side, I actually thought I lost here. Because I lost Kartana, Gastro is at +5, Gyarados is setting up, I don't have answers anymore. But he forgot to use his C-move, and right now I'm actually ahead in the game because of that. Which is... basically that's how Pokemon works. I'm gonna say one thing, I will mess up in some games as well, and then I'll lose. So he makes the mistake of not using the Z-move, and right now he's actually losing the game because of it. Which is very unfortunate for him. And very fortunate for me. So I actually lift the Scald because he's not boosted anymore. And his last circuitry comes in. I outspeed with Fini, and I can actually ignore... you know, I actually can not worry because of the Lightning Rod, but he does pack Discharge. So he has T-Bolt and Discharge. Energy Bomb, Protect. It's a good moveset, but Tapu Fini is bulky enough to take a Discharge, and I actually misplay here by Bone Meringuing. But I hit, so I'm not punished. Because I could have used Shadow Bone and that would have killed anyway. So right now, the Gastro is left, uses Scald, but I locked myself into a Specs Moonblast because I wanted to get that single target damage. And right now it's only the Gastro left, so managed to eke out, just barely eke out that victory because of a misplay on his part and just solid plays from my part, you know. And I just Z-move because why not? So basically he had a really strong 4 months, but it was beatable as I showed in the second game, and then he makes one mistake and you lose another game, which is just unfortunate, but it happens. It happens to the best. I'm gonna make some mistakes too in later videos, so be prepared for some lessons about knowledge about how to play a turn better than you think you would have. So that's the battle for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you want to see the previous battle, you can click on your screen right now. The annotation will bring you to my previous video. And I want to thank you all for watching. If you liked it, press that like button. And if you have something to tell me, there is a comment section. Yes, I know, it's weird. And with that said, I want to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.